No way this is real. No way Blizzard took another L by dropping another cash up.
Finally adding housing to WoW has cost Blizzard a pretty penny. I mean, it's been the main focus of Midnight's marketing campaign. There are multiple big fancy
True.
cinematics and the slogan, "Adventure is calling you home." And that all does
we all
sound
remember
quite
this
expensive
one.
to make. It's a lot of cinematics. Never mind the 9 full-time housing designers that they have on staff, or the entire 100 developer studio Blizzard bought in 2022, many of whom helped get housing off the ground.
Do you really need that many people to create housing feature? I don't know. I don't want to sound conceited here because I have absolutely no idea what happens like behind the scenes at, you know, big companies with developers and stuff. But do you really need a fully fledged crew of 100 developers just for a housing feature? I mean, they tried to do it 20 years ago and the only problem was time. So I guess just a little bit of manpower could cover for that loss as well. But do you really need 100 people just for a housing feature? That's interesting. If if anyone watching this understand a little bit on the back end, like make sure to let me know. I'm
Now,
truly
as
clueless
excited
here.
for it as Blizzard are, they're not building a feature this big just for the love of the game. It needs to show return on investment, and
Of
last
course.
week they showed us
Of
exactly
course.
how they're going to make that happen. But it's also an edition of the WoW News.
Guys, nothing Blizzard do is for free. Always remember that their first goal is money. And I know that every company that makes any product whatsoever should prioritize gains. I understand that. Obviously, you need to thrive and survive. Of course, nobody's refuting that, but at the same time, you need to understand that Blizzard put 99% of their efforts on financial gains, and that's the problem. They don't think about the player, because if they would have thought about the player, the game would have actually been good.
So, we'll have a few other things to talk about as well.
Oh!
We already knew this was coming to the game. Blizzard told us well in advance that housing would actually have a cash shop with
They have.
decor for real
We have been
money.
warned.
That's decor that has no alternative, and we knew it would be powered by a virtual currency. Virtual currencies are one of the most controversial tricks in the book. But Blizzard also said they would avoid the darker side of cash shops, and back in November they laid out this big list of guiding principles. And as we said at the time,
Yeah, guiding principles like don't cube crawl, and I guess everyone failed at that. But dude, Blizzard would never break another promise. It won't happen, guys. It happens millionth time before, but this time it's going to be different. Trust me.
the principles all looked pretty good, but promises are a lot easier to make than they are to keep, especially with hungry shareholders.
Oh, they are hungry.
Microsoft.
Insatiably
who
so.
will want the number of beans to go up. Though obviously Blizzard's plans don't always survive contact with reality, so we needed to wait to see it in-game. And now it's in-game. Here's Hearthsteel. It's in...
There it is. So we can see the conversion rate. So you have, these are dollars, right? Yeah, I think so. So you have, let's see, 10k Hearthsteel for $90. Man, these packages are ludicrous. What? What are these amounts? But to be fair, I don't know what the conversion rate actually is because I need to see an item. But okay, we'll keep this in mind.
Game, you can buy it. You can buy quite a lot of it, and we've also got
Of course
the
you can.
first decor items. These, quote, beloved wolf
there it
and
is.
lion plushies.
There it is. So you have plushie decor pack for 500 and individual ones cost 100. So that means, wait, how much you getting? Okay, you're getting 8, and if you purchase them individually, it would cost you way more. It would cost you 100. So you're essentially saving on 300 doubloons. You gotta buy the decor pack. You got to. Look at how much money you're saving. Wow. Well done, Blizzard. Well done. Insanely good job at avoiding the dark patterns. You're doing just fine.
So, did Blizzard stick to their own principles with these? First, they claim the vast majority of items will be in-game, and right now there's only 2 things in the shop, so they get a pass for that, but
Guys, do you see the language that Blizzard is using to trying to obfuscate and just put a smokescreen in front of us? Like, oh, the vast majority of items are going to be available in-game. You don't need anything with real-life money. Well, yeah, but did you talk about the quality? No. And that's what we're going to see. We're going to have to wait and see which items they're going to put for purchase with real-life money and which ones are going to be obtainable inside of the game. And trust me, I'll make a video following up on that.
Being real, I think there'll be a lot more than 2 things in that store soon. Second then, they said items tied to core race or class fantasies or ones that already exist in the game wouldn't be on the store. That does seem right, and it seems they've held to that with 2 asterisks, because you could argue that faction pride items are core fantasy, and honestly, that's an argument
100%.
that's kind of hard to fight against. And these plushies were already existing items in the game. But, well, that's only because people spotted them in NPC houses before they hit the shop. So I guess Blizzard does actually get a pass on number 2 as well. Third, they say items should be sold individually with no fear of missing out. So these cost 100 Hearthsteel each, and there's a bundle of 8 for 500 if you just want plushies in every single room, which does make...
Wait, what? Wait, now that I think about it. Oh, the prices are 4 per pop? Oh shit, dude, I missed that. I actually missed that at first. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. So you don't get a permanent plushie. You actually have them wow. Whoa, these are some new levels of greed we've seen from Blizzard. They evolved. They cracked the code. And wow, and people dare say to me that Blizzard isn't getting better. Shame on you. Of course they have. Look at this. You can't even purchase a plushie and put it in every single room. You have to buy it individually. That is nuts. That is absolutely diabolical. Holy.
You think, like...
I'm impressed.
Damn, I get how these being consumable makes sense of the system that they've designed, but...
What? No, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make the slightest... Bro, Bellular need to start talking against Blizzard. I hate that. I listen, I really love his content. I love his videos, and I do understand where he's coming from. At the end of the day, it's his job. He can't speak against Blizzard directly because he would get... Oh, Jesus, what a voice crack. He would be admonished for it by Blizzard, and it will hurt him down the line in the future because he covers this game so regularly. And I do get it, but to a certain degree, brother, you need to have integrity. You need to call the bad stuff out. And in a certain way, I believe that Blizzard do appreciate it. Nah, I'm just lying. I'm lying. They don't appreciate it. They just shadow ban everyone who speaks against him. So I do get it. I get it. But I really just wish he spoke against it.
They could get in real hot water. What if they put in a decor item that, as an example, could be repurposed for something else in such a way that people would want loads of them? We already see that with...
What if someone just want to build a room with like 1,000 plushies? Like, why not give them the freedom to do so without spending his entire life savings? But no, Blizzard doesn't care. They just want your gold. That's it.
So many items in-game. If each one of those is a few hundred Hearthsteel a pop, that could be quite rough. But going back to things, as for this bundle, there is no visible end date, right? Neither on the items or the bundle, so they do get a pass on that. Fourth then is cost. They say that Hearthsteel should come in sensible bundles at a fixed price. Well, I don't know.
Wow.
Does a 10,000...
What sensible means to you, Blizzard? That's the question. And now that we actually have the chart in front of us and we know the pricing, we can actually kind of assess the conversion rate, if it's good or not. So we can take a more moderate one. Oh, there it is. Okay, this one. So $10 for 1k Hearthsteel. So for $10, you can buy 2 plushie packs. So that means 16 plushies for $10. Wow. Incredible, no? Great conversion rate. Excellent. And I bet you that in the future, there's going to be some ludicrous prices for certain decors that people want, and it would be super expensive. I bet that.
Hearthsteel
just wait and see.
Makes sense to you?
I'm calling it right now.
That's pretty big. That's hefty. Now, obviously, these two things are cheap items. They're just little plushes. And it's clear Blizzard are testing the waters.
Yep.
I wonder where
they are.
Go. But credit to Blizzard, they did choose not to use one of the most classic dark patterns going.
Bro, did you just set credit to Blizzard? What are you gonna say that's going to absolve them of sin? There's nothing to credit here. They're a garbage company using shady practices. What did they possibly did that makes you say credit to Blizzard? Let's hear it.
There is no discount for larger bundles.
Oh!
There's no psychological warfare.
Oh, so he's talking about having the... whenever you're playing video games with microtransaction, basically you have like this screen, and there's like a tiny screen here that says, hey, if you purchase this bundle right now or for the first time, you're gonna get a bonus on top of it. So you're incentivized to essentially just purchase the most expensive bundles because you actually gain more bang for your buck. And yeah, that's how companies trick you into purchasing higher and higher expensive packages. Sorry. And I guess Blizzard didn't do that because they're saints. And yeah, man, kudos to them. Sure, of course, of course. You know, you left us to die, but at least you took the sting out of it. I appreciate you, Blizzard. Thank you.
To upsell you. 100 Hearthsteel is the smallest denomination that you can buy at $1, and everything on the shop should be
$1
nice
per 100
price, so you can pay just for what you need. So that does seem to be good, but we've only got these cheap test items to go by.
How is that good?
So, if it was just this, I would say, you know what, I'm impressed. They've not went and done something that, well...
Bro, this should have been free! You're paying for a subscription, a base game, and an expansion! How is this good? How kudos to Blizzard? How can he say that? How can he possibly say that? It's insane, man. This man is unhinged. What happened? It just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Look, you're looking at this and you go like, oh, that's fairly, it's, you know, they're moderating their stuff. I don't care. Make it free. This should have been a part of the game. Or maybe make stuff obtainable inside of the game, right? To a certain degree with special currency that you can earn inside of it. But making it real life money, that is so cringe. It is such a bad practice. Yo, Blizzard engages in so much malpractice, man. I'm gonna never run out of content, so maybe it's good for me, you know? Who cares?
The sort of thing we would expect from a big AAA. They've certainly managed to keep their promises thus far, and there's nothing wrong with the housing shop. Yet. Because obviously, there's only two things in it. We'll obviously have to wait and see what happens when they put real items and bundles and ones with higher values in this store.
Yep.
And we'll need to see how they tie Hearthsteel into other things as a currency. Certainly, with a 10,000 Hearthsteel bundle sitting there at $100, the system is clearly being built for whales, right? Whales buying multiple copies of expensive items. That's an unmistakable thing when you look at how the store is set up. And that's probably how Blizzard really plans to make their money back. It's just that right now, we haven't seen its final form.
Or they could have just made a good game. But, hey, that's just me.
And I always remember the story of the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer where a developer shared that somebody spent over 14,000 US dollars on Mass Effect 3 loot crates. And that was way back before all this got out of hand. I wonder what people will do with this.
Man, it all started with that goddamn Bethesda horse thing. Like, it was a horse saddle for, what, quarter? Like a cent or something? Man, it truly changed gaming history forever.
Though funnily
the first
enough,
microtransaction.
You know, we're talking about an economy. We're talking about incentives. If you wanted, say, the ability to have more than one house per faction per WoW account, well, this may be good news, because it does create a financial incentive for Blizzard to, you know, let you have multiple houses that you can fill full of items, some of which you might buy with Hearthsteel. And that would be pretty big for the people who are the whales. Perhaps they'll want a fully decked out house for every single, I don't know, race, faction, class, everything in the
They're
game.
cooking.
Pump them all full of money. Though at least for now, the way they're doing it with what we've got literally in the store doesn't really have big red flags. But naturally, none of this will...
Yeah, but you need to speak about the red flags that currently exist, because you know Blizzard is only going to exacerbate the problem. You know that. You know that for a fact, so you need to nip this in the bud before it gets worse. But to be honest, Blizzard doesn't care. It's clearly catering for the whales. You don't even count as a human being for Blizzard. They just don't care about you. You're not even a true gamer if you don't pay $100 each month to, you know, finance their strange addictions and weird behaviors. But hey, I guess it is what it is, boys. No?
Stop people from finding other ways to call Blizzard immoral. And that's because one change they've made at the endgame has sparked all new pay-to-win allegations. And honestly,
Are you kidding
it's a bit
me?
of a farce.
It cost how much to upgrade? What?
Okay, so here's the deal. Valor Stones will not be following us into midnight. They're gone. No more Valor Stones. And we've known that since October of last year. But the latest beta of Midnight threw a curveball. They're not just gone. They've been replaced.
Guys, I don't know what Valor Stones are. I stopped following. I stopped playing since, like, BFA. Like, I'm done. I don't remember anything even. It just, I don't know what it
You're
is.
still going to need crests to upgrade your gear, as always, but now you'll need some cold, hard gold. Yeah, it's a brave decision,
What?
Blizzard. The gold costs of housing alone have got some casual players emptying their coffers.
Damn!
Outfit slot prices do scale to rather absurd levels if you want all the slots in the
Man, I bet the RMT is going to just have a party there, right? Like the real money trading section. Holy, the bots are going to have a field day with this one. Oh, gold prices are gonna go up so much. It's gonna be, wow, incredible.
universe, and
The best
crafting
economy
gear
in
does remain its
MMO
own
heaven
little
earned.
economic nightmare. So I guess if there's an expansion to buy a WoW token in, it's this one, and Blizzard wants you to. And that's even before we saw this change, where it looks like Blizzard expects us to spend even more gold on our gear upgrades. It all does sound quite something, and as some people have pointed out, it could look
Wait, what? Max squads per fully upgraded all slot. Oh, Jesus.
It all does sound quite something, and as some people have pointed out, it could look like an obvious ploy to just create more demand for gold, to sell more WoW tokens, and to line their coffers.
100%.
But here's the little thing. The most expensive single upgrade that you can make is 50 gold. Yep, it's 50 gold for a myth track bit of gear. That's kind of on the cheap side, but on the cheaper side, adventurer gear starts at a measly 10 gold. That means that upgrading every single slot in your character at Myth 1 only costs 750 gold. All the way from Myth 1 to Myth 6, that's still under 4,000 gold. No matter what you're upgrading, 1 or 2 weekly boxes will cover you for the entire season. Blizzard, for once here, has made sure that this is a complete non-issue. Now, it could have been a nightmare if they added a 0, or maybe 2 zeros to those prices. But here, I think they
should do it for fun.
Call. And if you think about it, it's actually a fun little bit of flavor. We're now paying Vaskarn and the other fella for their...
Bro, look at it. Look at them. They're disgusting. How can anyone play this? This is actually revolting. I can't believe they added them into the game. So cringe. Nobody, it's no surprise that literally no one talks about Dragonflight. It's so revolting. Everyone just pushed it to the side.
hard work.
The only good thing from this expansion is the mount that they stole from Guild Wars 2. And they even managed to mess this one up.
There you go. It's really lore and world building. I mean, come on, imagine expecting those poor guys to upgrade our gear for free. Unless they've been secretly selling our Valor Stones in the black market this whole time. So hey, Blizzard, this is a great opportunity for some flavor text. Now, look, I did bring this up mostly as a joke, but it does raise a real question about gold in modern World of Warcraft. You do earn your basic income from doing world quests and weeklies. Then you usually spend all of that on crafting and consumables. Now, you could argue that everything should just be free, right?
Yes.
Because doing weeklies purely for gold feels a bit pointless.
Yes.
And I can see what people say there, because you look at it purely in terms of function. It's like, I need consumables. I use gold to get them. How about you just...
And I want to have fun inside of the game, and I don't want to be a slave to it. That's also a major factor here.
give me the consumables for free, and there you go. I get my consumables, I get to raid, I don't have to think about all the other bits of the game that I don't care about. I do get that point, but I also think it's a little bit soulless. I think that if we make everything as easy as possible and as streamlined with no friction, then we just end up with a game that doesn't really make us feel as much.
Then cut out all the dead air and the trash content. Make sure that the game actually focuses on what is fun. And that's it. You'll solve the problem. The thing is that you're trying to mix and match so many systems that clearly don't work with each other. And the machine is just running on fumes at this point. That's the real problem. You need to cut out the dead content that nobody cares about. That's it. And then you can streamline everything, and you can make sure that, you know, stuff are attainable within a certain amount of time, and stuff would naturally make sense, including dailies and weeklies. Even though, personally, I'm against dailies. You know that. I hate having to log in and having that nagging feeling that, oh, I have to log in today and do this and do that. Like, I hate that. Like, I love classic World of Warcraft because it didn't have any of those except for badges. Obviously, you need to do heroics, but you didn't have to do it. And also, once you got your items, you were done. Like, you didn't need to do any more.
For the negative or the positive. I think that's how we get bland. I think that's how we become apathetic. This is not me saying it should be expensive to upgrade your gear. It definitely shouldn't. And I think this is realistically Blizzard just trying to take some gold out of circulation as a little bit of a way of getting gold inflation down. Though, of course, It is what we would call a regressive form of taxation. Yeah, it is. It's not a progressive one. So that problem created by the extreme gold wealth of the big goblins, all the people with Trade Skill Master installed, controlling the auction houses,
Yeah, the bots.
they've got their one economy where they can just buy whale items with gold. And then there's the economy that the rest of us deal with. Maybe that is a little bit why people feel weird about gold inflation, and maybe feel weird about the price of consumables in World of Warcraft. And yes, it's a bit ridiculous that we're having this conversation, and it almost feels like it's one we could be having about the world outside the MMO. But anyway, what Blizzard should do is take a stab at making gold making more involved and more interesting, maybe for the Last Titan or beyond. Because right now, gold making is a near optional part of the game. It's mostly a playground for boosters and auction house flippers. Though, of course, with WoW Token, Blizzard has to be careful here, because one wrong step and the game seriously risks becoming pay to win. And from Blizzard's point of view,
So remove WoW Token from the game. It doesn't have a place inside of an MMO. I said this for years and I'm saying it now again. Just remove it. Stop trying to cash in on the game. Like, stop being stupid. Stop making dumb decisions. Just take WoW Token out of the game.
a wrong step in the other direction.
It's that simple.
Would,
it's honestly that simple.
Be pretty bad for the bottom line. These two stories show how Blizzard is being a little bit careful of how they get money out of us. And they should be. We're already paying for admission in a paid MMO like this one.
Yeah.
That being said, we have plenty of reasons not to trust what they say forever.
Wow, plenty of reasons. Are you talking about just the past week, or the entire decade of Blizzard pulling out a fast one on us? Like, what are we talking about here? I'm confused. I don't know.
Let's end with the drama.
God, another
Welcome
drama.
back to Analyzing Things Ian Hazzikostas has said in the past. Regular fixture in the channel. In December 2023, Ian said to the Community Council that the trading post isn't something they focus on monetizing. It's supposed to, in his words, quote, offer a wide variety of interesting, compelling choices and rewards so that players can play in-game, participate, explore Azeroth, and earn things that are the most exciting to them. Sounds lovely. And he said this in response to bundles that had appeared in the store that actually had Trader's Tender in them. As soon as they showed up, it sparked fear that Blizzard were being a bit sneaky. You see, it's a classic trick. Give
He had
players
way
just
more
enough
hair
free
than
currency to cover most of what they.
Now I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% convinced that each expansion, Ian loses more hair follicles. And when he goes completely bald, he's just gonna go on a rampage and fix Blizzard. We just have to wait. We need to be patient. I'm sure. Like, trust me, guys, this is not a conspiracy theory. I've connected the dots. I know. I've seen what's ahead.
Want for the shop, and then offer
Just be patient.
More of that currency at a comfortable price. That's when sunk cost fallacy and fear of missing out just come in and finish Blizzard's job for them. Someone won't want to wait 12 months until the item they think is cool will come back into the store, so why not buy a bundle that has some Trader's Tender and get the thing right now? That way you'll definitely have it. You see, it works in our psychology. So, Ian did say, right, back then, that those bundles are not something they were actively looking to do right now. It had basically seemed that in Dragonflight they were testing these bundles. Like, you could buy the Staff of Medivh plus 500 Tender as a
Why?
bundle. And of course that works on bundle psychology as well, because the more different things you have in a bundle, the harder it is to price the value of any one thing, meaning that if you are Mr. Blizzardo Entertainment, you can probably, wiggle your way to charging more. There was a lot of pushback, and honestly, it seemed like Blizzard were just gonna stop doing those. It didn't seem the juice was worth the squeeze, and they did stop for a while. But Ian did say that they're not actively looking to do it again right now.
Right now,
and it's
yeah.
no longer.
Once again, tying everything to what I said earlier. Blizzard always being careful with their language because they know they're gonna try to actually do a rug pull one more time. They know that. They know. That's why they're so careful. And that's why you always need to read the fine print whenever you see a Blizzard interview or video, whatever. You always need to read between the lines.
Late 2023. He never explicitly said, never And now we know why. Because did you know there's a trading post outlet open this month?
Oh!
Yes, an outlet. A whole lot of old stuff that you may have missed is available right here in Donegal. And
For
it's
how
a
much?
massive selection. It's of otherwise unobtainable items on a deep, deep discount, even including the monthly bonus rewards. And if you, Mr. Gamer, don't have enough tender, don't worry. Blizzard have got your back, because you can buy the Anubiseth Guardian bundle. Yes, you can buy that in the store, and it will come with an extra 700 tender. So between the
Wow.
Epic Edition of Midnight and this Transmog bundle, you may just have enough to buy everything that you would want.
Incredible. FOMO is a powerful drug, doesn't it? Or isn't it? Sorry. Well, you know what? Every time I watch a video about Blizzard, I just think to myself, no way I can hate this company more, but I'm proving to be wrong every single time.
Blizzard, thank you for this well-timed consumption opportunity. Now, the point here is that Blizzard does not necessarily break promises. Ian did not say they would never do this again.
Oh,
I
what
would
is
point this out.
dude? What is that shield defense line? Oh my god. Oh my god, no way he said that. Oh, but technically they did not break their promise because they say that right now. They didn't say never. Who cares? Bro, who cares? Oh my god, what a shady defense line. It's so fickle. I can't even... Oh, dude, why am I getting rage baited here by Bellular? I honestly don't know. Let's just finish the video. I'm done.
With housing, they're keeping things squeaky clean. With gold, they were careful to keep costs reasonable after the whole transmog debacle. With Trader's Tender, we actually see that they're still willing to play it fast and loose whenever they spot an opportunity. And I'm not sure if this is worse or if this is to their credit. The paid set has a different color version on the trading post. So that does mean that you are being gently pushed to buy a recolor for $25. Now, that's not particularly compelling, is Blizzard's point, that the tender that's in that bundle is the compelling thing. And there's another complexity, because if you buy the bundle, you may feel like you can just skip buying the trading post set. That will save you even more tender. So where are we at then? Well, there's no single way that Blizzard tried to get you to give them money. There used to be. It was called the WoW subscription. Now there are more things.
Yeah.
To their credit, they
Hey, different avenues and revenues.
are putting in effort into not being blatantly evil about it. Emphasis on, blatant. But my real worry is this. With these things existing in the game, Blizzard now has levers that they can pull to increase the monetization of World of Warcraft. They may not want to, but the thing is that they may actually have to. They are not running the game for themselves. They are a team running the game for Blizzard Entertainment. Blizzard Entertainment is a division of, Xbox Gaming. That's a division of Microsoft. And we all know that shit rolls downhill. The problem is, now that these levers exist, should some shit roll down the hill, then the people on the WoW team may be convinced to pull those levers.
Yeah.
Try to squeeze a bit more.
It's like pressing the money button whenever you stream. There's like an ad button you can press and then you instantly get, ooh, you see like the graphs goes like this. And you click it when you're desperate. Like, yeah, Blizzard is definitely going to yank that shit into oblivion. You bet your ass. And they're going to use it under the guise of, oh, we had a really rough month because the development costs were way higher than we expected. And all they did was drinking milk and like you were crawling. That's all they done. Instead of actually downsizing their team to the most competent people ever, they rather spread out and like sprawl their like disgusting tentacles all around the company and just hire people that sit around all day and do nothing. And that's it. Like, except, going into prison, but that's a different part. So, well, I guess it is what it is, boys.
Money out of us.
Companies
I will say that right now, Blizzard, you have a much smarter way to make...
Yeah, okay, thank God. The video is over. I'm not even gonna hear the end here. I got rage baited by Bellular. I can't believe. That's a first, I think. I don't understand why he's so defensive or so dismissive of Blizzard. That's the word I'm looking for. I mean, why is he defending him so vehemently? It's just so annoying, man. I really wish he would speak up against it. I mean, I do, like I said earlier, I do get it. But at a certain degree, brother, they are clearly engaging in bad behavior here. They are bad faith actors, and they are trying to pull off every single thing they can do, every single maneuver they can pull off, just to make sure they gain more money and squeeze the players out of more doubloons. We had enough. We had enough, and I'm not contributing a goddamn penny to them. Okay? Their cause is useless to me. Even if I enjoy the game, I don't want to play it, and I don't enjoy the game. I do enjoy Classic, but I don't play Classic because I don't want to give Blizzard my money. And also, I kind of got tired of, re-releasing the same garbage over and over again. I mean, we had fun once, and now it's kind of over. But at the same time, like, I just don't want to give them my money. It's so crazy that you would even defend them and say, like, oh, they technically weren't wrong. It's such a cringe defense line. I can't believe you would die on that hill. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. Guys, like I told you, Blizzard is never going to change. I really hope this company would crash and burn because we had enough. We just had enough. And I really wish some way a different company could get the WoW IP and actually make it better. Because I'm dying for a good World of Warcraft game. I know they're trying to do like Classic Plus maybe, but how things are going, I highly doubt Blizzard would actually give us a good product.